Weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
We certainly started to see that lighter snow coming in late yesterday, and now we have that widespread, steadier snow falling across the area. And a loop over the past 3 hours shows you that we have had some banding come through already. We're looking at some reports that have come in already this morning of a few inches in many locations. 3.3 in West Warwick, Barrington at 2 inches, New Bedford at 3.5, Taunton at 2 inches. We've got a report from Charlestown at about 4 inches, Acushnet at 3 inches. Now, this is still very light, fluffy snow for most of us. The farther east you go, you're getting into more of a pasty, wetter snow. There was a little bit of mixing at the onset of the precipitation. And what's going to happen with this as the day goes on is it's going to pile up very, very quickly. We have light, fluffy snow for many of us. And on the low end, we're talking about a foot of snow. Most of the area is seeing 1.5 to 2 feet of snow as the day goes on today. So we are just getting started out there this morning, and we're going to continue to see the snow piling up very quickly as the day goes on. There are some other concerns with this. It's not just a snowstorm. We have gusty winds that are already picking up. I have that map for you in just a second. That's going to create blowing, drifting snow, which is why we have the blizzard warning in place for all of us. What that also means is those snow drifts start to pile up. And you'll remember from storms in past years that depending on where your car is set up or the house is set up, you may end up with feet of snow piled up in one area of the house, and then in another area it looks like there's not that much. That's what happens with this light fluffy snow and the snow drifts as the winds blow. That also may create some power outage concerns as we head through the day, especially for areas farthest to the east where the gustiest of winds happen. Some coastal flooding concerns for eastern Mass with the high tide cycle this morning and again this afternoon. Things have come in a little bit faster, and at first it looked like the worst of the winds would kind of happen during low tide, but this morning with some gusty winds already picking up, there's going to be some concerns there, especially for north facing shorelines with that breeze from the north. Also, the wind from the north brings in dangerously cold temperatures. By this afternoon, feel like temps will be around 0, if not slightly below that, and that happens all night long. So while we're getting out trying to clean things up, it is going to be bitterly cold. The winds right now sustained coming in from the northeast with the nor'easter. You're talking about sustained winds already around 30 miles per hour in Providence, gusts to 40 miles per hour for Providence, 40 for Block Island, 46 for Falmouth, 44 for the Vineyard, 44 for Plymouth. We're looking at wind gusts, especially for farthest eastern Mass, coming in over 60 miles per hour today. So again, the power outage risk highest for areas farthest to the east, but most of us end up in that 45 to 60 mile per hour range really through the bulk of the day today up until this evening before things start to wind down. Here's a loop over the past 6 hours. So we have had some steady snow falling for the past 6 hours. As I mentioned, there was a little mixing at times for areas farthest to the east, but at this point we are all seeing snow, and you're starting to see some of those snow bands set up where we're talking about the snowfall rates as we head through the morning hours and into the afternoon, the early afternoon at least, coming down 2 to 3 inches per hour. That piles up again very, very quickly. A much wider view shows you that that storm is just continuing to blanket snow across much of the northeast, and we're again pretty much just getting started. We have a long way to go with this. 6 a.m. you can see some of that banding on your Futurecast. Other spots seeing some lighter snow. We continue to see the heavier snow building in over the course of the morning. 10 a.m. you can see pockets of very heavy snow falling, and that continues through lunchtime at least. Into the later part of the afternoon, this is 4 o'clock, things are starting to wind down just a bit, but we still see lingering snow showers outside through the evening hours. It's not until midnight maybe that things turn off completely and we see sunshine as we head into tomorrow. Again, there is that blizzard warning in place, visibility concerns, drifting snow concerns, horrendous travel conditions as the day goes on, especially through the morning and afternoon hours with the heavy snow, the gustiest of winds. Visibility will be down to basically whiteout conditions. Things are starting to wind down a bit through the evening, and then by 10 p.m. just a few lingering snow showers out there. As I mentioned, there's also going to be some bitter cold. Wind chills down to 0 by 11 a.m. By this afternoon, hovering around 0 degrees, and by early tomorrow morning, wind chills significantly below 0 to start the day. So everyone, all the kids at least, excited to go out and maybe play in the snow. It is going to be brutally cold and very windy today. Today's the day to stay off the road, stay inside. Tomorrow maybe still very cold, but maybe less wind and a better opportunity to play out there in the snow. Doreen?